Good morning. I know that I clicked the horizontal button this time. So I guess it must be you can't see all of the chat messages and have it horizontal. I'm guessing that's the answer. But I did try. I hope y'all are having a good day this morning. We've had a slow morning, slept in a bit, had some coffee and some quiet time. It was nice to just sort of slowly rouse and get ready, and now I get to come out and walk with y'all. So I'm very excited about our walk today. I'm excited that we are keeping up with our schedule of walking. I feel like it's really helping me to stay on track and to do at least something several times a week that's good for me. Hopefully will help me make better, healthier choices throughout the day. And maybe it'll lead to encouraging you to do that as well. So thanks for joining in and walking with me. Last time on Wednesday, I had mentioned that I was really afraid of the snow and ice that was coming. And everyone was, sympathetic because Southerners don't know what to do in winter storms. But I think it's all moving your way if you're north. It's looks like it's going to be fine here, rain, but no ice until maybe Sunday night. But I don't think it's going to be like an inch of ice on the roads or anything. So I'm sorry that it's moving towards you. Hopefully it won't be as bad as they expect, but I think everybody is a little nervous about it. So I will pray for everyone's safety. I hope that y'all don't get a bad storm. Hope everybody's safe. It's supposed to be 18 here on Monday. So if the sun isn't shining, that rain will turn to ice and we'll stay here for a little bit. But in Alabama, it never is going to be able to stay very long. So that's good news for us, but I know some of y'all are really expecting to get hit hard. It's hard to prepare when it keeps changing. But anyway, thank y'all for all of your advice about the animals. Several of you told me what to do about the water. And so I'm going to look into that. I appreciated your feedback and your experience. Hope y'all can hear me okay. I edited my video yesterday, and it was the first video that I had been using my new mic, and I was really happy with the results. So I hope that the audio quality on the channel can get to be a little bit better. I know y'all have suffered through a lot of audio problems, and I'm sorry about that, but hopefully things will start to improve now that I have a better setup. Bonnie I didn't mean to show you right then, but she's going along with us on our walk. Apparently had to take a break. Sorry, I didn't mean for y'all to see that. I put on our thumbnail what I thought we could talk about today. Mom guilt. Nobody really wants to talk about that, but I had something happen yesterday that made me feel really bad. Guilty. And I wish that I had made better choices, but I thought, well, at least We can talk about this, work through it. I know I'm not the only one that has circumstances where you react the wrong way with your kids especially, and you have to sort of regroup. That's what I had to do yesterday. So we had some issues. Lane is a good boy. He never really pushes buttons. He never really does anything needing discipline. But yesterday he sort of crossed a boundary and had to be disciplined for it. And I felt really bad about that situation because I knew how out of character it was. But then later on, he did something else that wasn't really bad, but it was frustrating. And sort of lost my patience, lost myself for a minute, and raised my voice, which I had just talked about. I thought, you were such a hypocrite. I just talked about that, and I thought, this is how it happens. You get frustrated, and in the moment, you lose your sense of control, and then you let things come out in a way that you wouldn't normally say things in a certain way. You would normally be, or I would normally be, more careful, more mindful. But yesterday, I was just frustrated. I was grumpy, and I let that feed over into how I responded to his misbehavior. And I woke up feeling bad about it. Like, I sat him down. I explained to him, this was yesterday after it happened. I'm sorry, buddy, I didn't handle that right. And Mama's not mad at you. Mama lost her patience. And I'm sorry. It is important for you to do what you're supposed to do. But Mama is not mad or angry at you. It's important for us to just take a minute and let them know to make a mistake, because we let them know when they make a mistake. We have to also show them how to handle it when somebody comes to you and says, you didn't do that right, and you know that they are correct about that. So I just tried to explain to him, I made a mistake, lost my cool, and Mama shouldn't have raised her voice at you, and I'm sorry. I do think that there's a time to raise your voice, a time to make sure that they are listening, but that wasn't the time. So anyway, there's the backstory of why I thought maybe we could talk about this today. But do y'all suffer with mom guilt? I do it a lot. I allow myself to feel bad even when I'm not the one at fault, even when it's just normal life. Your kids, maybe, I don't know, they get sick, or they have a cavity, or they get in an argument with a friend, and you're like, well, that means that I'm a terrible mom. And I don't think it's just me that feels that way. I think it's pretty common that we all feel like it's our fault if something bad happens to our kids. But it's really not. We are doing the best we can. I think 99% of parents are really trying to do the best they can. And I'm sure that's true for you. So I hope that we can just sort of not feel so guilty about all of the things and just maybe move forward, trying to do better. I would love to hear your suggestions on how you sort of deal with that mom guilt, because it sort of rears its head regularly in my brain. And it's very easy to be like, well, they're just gonna be some type of way because I didn't do this exactly right. But I know that God is able to take all of the circumstances in somebody's life and allow it to make them better. I believe that. So even when my kids had to go through sort of mistakes that we made in parenting them, I know that it can help them to be better. So maybe that's one thing we can do, get up, dust ourselves off, and resolve to do the best that we can, and then pray that God will help turn whatever that was, that circumstance, turn it into their benefit. Because I do think that hard situations, other people's mistakes, I do think that helps sort of train us in the right way so that we can think, well, if I was in that circumstance, I think maybe this is what I would do. Maybe that's one way that we can combat it and try to make the best of situations when we don't handle everything exactly right. I was really trying to think of other things to talk about today. I feel like 3 times a week of me just talking is a lot for y'all to endure. And sometimes I run out of things to say. I'm really glad that I've made some new friends over YouTube. It makes me very happy that some of y'all have reached out even through email, and I really appreciate that. It's been nice to just sort of become friends with people who I wouldn't have normally met otherwise. And that was my goal. And sometimes I wish my videos would get more views, but then when they get more views, rude people sort of come in. And I don't really want rude people to be around here. Somebody put in a rude comment the other day, and I was like, you must be new around here. Just gave them a smiley face. But I really am thankful that the majority of people that are here on this channel are kind and sympathetic and patient. I sometimes will read all of the comments under a video. I don't do it all the time. I try to answer all of the comments that are directed to me, but sometimes y'all will get to talking in the comments, and it makes me so happy to see the viewers sort of have the kind interactions with one another. And so when that even blossoms bigger, and some of you send me an email, or some of you have sent me mail to my post office box, it just makes me smile. It makes me so happy to know that this is bigger than views. It's not what it's about. I'm thankful for that. But I do feel like I need some topic suggestions because I'm afraid I am not going to be able to come up with a lot of good things to talk about. I did think if we could have themes throughout the week, like maybe Monday could be some kind of spiritual thought from the day before when I was at church, or something I'm reading or something like that. Maybe Wednesdays could be our budget talks. We could talk about something that's related to money or budgeting or groceries, and then maybe on Fridays we could talk about relationships and ways to improve our relationships, which I'm definitely not an expert at. So maybe y'all could give me some ideas, and I would really appreciate those ideas, because I know y'all are not going to be interested in hearing me sort of blabber on about nothing. I hope that you're feeling better walking more. I feel like I'm not really getting the benefit that I wish I was, but I feel like maybe this time next month I'll really be able to feel a difference. I think we live in a immediate culture, and it's really hard to not want instant results. You know, I don't want to have to still be breathing really hard, but that's going to come. I know it will if I keep trying. If I keep walking up this hill that y'all see me turn around halfway up, I'm not going to walk up that whole thing. Somebody lives up at the top of the hill, and I really don't want her seeing me walk around in front of her house. But I also, in all honesty, don't want to walk up that entire hill. It seems sort of hard. So I'm afraid I would really be breathing too hard at that point. I hope y'all are well. I feel like I've got a little tinge of my throat feels like it's about to get sick. I do not want to be sick. I don't want my kids to be sick. I don't want Chris to be sick. So I popped 2 vitamin C drops today. I got some vitamins from Thrive Market, and those have been helping me. So I took 2 vitamin C pills and some silver. Do y'all take silver? Whenever I'm feeling like I'm about to get sick, or if somebody around me is sick, I'll give myself and Lane some silver, colloidal silver, and it seems to really boost your immune system. The first time I heard about silver, this old man was telling me about it, and I think he overdid it a little bit, because the bottoms of his fingernails were blue. I think he was getting poisoned, but he seemed to think that it was doing all the things. So that's been 180 years ago that I first heard about it, and then I started looking into it more, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. And it's funny how 5 years ago was sort of an eye-opening experience for everybody. But I started looking into that, and we have it at our house all the time now. But I know there are other things that people do to stay well, so I'm interested and wondering what you do to try to keep everybody healthy. The flu is going around here, something bad, and I do not want to get the flu. The last time I remember having the flu was in 2010, and I won't ever forget it. I thought I was dying. So I'm scared of the flu. I don't want that. So I try to do all the things. An apple, I'm sure, would help me, but I haven't eaten an apple in a little bit, so I need to go do that this morning. Somebody said, "Are you reading the comments?" Some. I'll try. But I can't focus on not falling and reading the comments, but I can read them now. That's my mama at the top. She says, "Hey." So I'll say hey back to her. Catherine has a YouTube channel. You can go and check her out. Maybe subscribe to her channel. She is concerned about the weather in Arkansas, and it's supposed to be bad. So y'all pray for Catherine and her family, and go subscribe to her channel. Raise my voice against, I don't know, something. We ignore those kinds of things. And Mimi says, "Hey." And someone else says, "Jesus loves you and so do I." And I appreciate that very much. That's something we can raise our voice about, so thank you. And good morning to you too. It's funny that I read your names. I know that you, Prairie, have been here a lot. I read your comments all the time, and in my mind, I have like the way that my brain reads your YouTube names, and it's totally not right. There was one lady who in my brain is an astronaut because she's got an A and a U close together. I don't know. I guess my brain is just being lazy whenever I read your names, but I'm glad that you're here, and thank you for always chiming in the comments because I see you a lot. Well, maybe y'all can give me some good ideas about what to talk about, because I feel like this was not it. I feel like maybe we could do better than this. So give me some good ideas that you would like for me to talk about during our walks, and maybe that would be a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more helpful. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're walking or watching if you can't walk. I thought we could come and say hey to the cows before we go. The goats are trying to stay dry. It's been raining here. But I will tell you goodbye. Thank you for watching. I'll let you see a couple of cute cows. And make sure that you watch the video today. It will drop at 2 o'clock Central. It's about easy weeknight meals. So I'm excited about that video. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you do not lose power. Stay warm and stay dry. I love you. Hi, Winnie.